Hello, I hope you're having a good day. I'm Ishani here and welcome. If you've been watching my videos, you know about this lovely card hop where some of us card makers around the world have joined to play with some fun themes and techniques. This month we are playing with mixed media or alcohol inks and the theme is florals. It's a great way to learn different ways to do a technique, so I hope you'll hop along. The list of videos are available in the description box. I will be playing with alcohol inks and using various techniques to make floral cards, also showing how you can stretch your supplies in creative ways and make beautiful cards. I have taken Yupo paper by Tim Holtz and I have this Indian brand Craftangles paper too. This one is a translucent paper and both are quite similar, but I want to use the Craftangles one as it's not as translucent as the Tim Holtz variety. You also get the white sheets in Tim Holtz, but I don't have them. Also, the Craftangles paper is a little thicker, so I will be using that for all my projects. But I'll be comparing the two alcohol ink papers and you can decide what you like better. Also, I have a little vellum piece along as it's similar in translucency. Let's start with the comparison of all the three with similar inks. I'm using blending solution first and then the two inks. I've taken caramel and teakwood alcohol inks by Tim Holtz as these are the least used inks in my stash. And I'll speed up my video. After the inks have dried, I'm not very happy with the vellum, but I think the ink works beautifully on the other two surfaces. I like the opacity of the Craftangles paper and I'll be using the same. And you could always keep these panels you have played with for your future projects. Coming to my first card, I'll be making use of two of my favorite colors, Pool and Purple Twilight, and I start with taking blending solution on the paper. I want very light colors, so I dilute them with the blending solution and let the colors mix. And somehow I'm not a very big fan of ripples, especially on projects like these that you will see now. So I try to get a blend without harsh lines. You can use the colors that you like and just keep experimenting with what you like and what you don't. And also you can incorporate the ideas that I'm going to share in this video for your own cards. As this card will be a floral card, I need leaves too. So I take citrus and dilute it with my blending solution. And I let the little blue come from the blue-purple area. And I think I like the shades and I'll add a little more pool and sunshine yellow and get a little more green. So it's quite like watercolors. You mix your colors and get what you want. Even if you don't have the right shade, you can make some yourself. I'm not using any heat tool for this technique because air drying gives me a little more time to let the colors mix and get seamless coverage. So I just rotate my paper and let the blending solution do the magic and let the colors mix. Okay, so on this card, we'll be doing some stamping. And I'm using Ellen Hudson's Mondo Hydrangea and I'm going to stamp it in black and heat emboss with clear embossing powder. You could use any color for stamping or heat emboss it with gold, silver or white or any color of your choice. I stamp my flowers with VersaFine Onyx Black ink and emboss it with Granger's clear powder. Well, also don't forget to use the anti-static tool before you stamp as the alcohol inks can be a little sticky. Similarly, I do the leaf and then I cut my flowers and leaf with coordinating dies, and you can cut them with scissors if you don't have the dies for the flowers that you are stamping. For arranging the card, I am taking a top folding lilac colored paper that I have inked with wilted violet distress ink to match my flowers, and I stamp sentiment from a Simon Says stamp set. And as I get some inked fingers, I erase them off with a sanding eraser. And then I adhere the white panel with strong double-sided tape and then adhere my leaf and the bunch of flowers on a 3D foam tape. To finish off the card, I'm adding some pretty sequins and ta-da! I'm very happy with the way the card looks. I hope you like it too. Let's move ahead and see what I do for the next card. But before that, a quick reminder that this video is a part of a hop and I would request you to check out the description for the next person in line, and also all the supplies that I'm using are listed in the description box below, and I would love if you'd even check out my Instagram handle that I'll be linking down below. For the next technique, I'm using alcohol inks in watermelon and sunshine yellow. I dilute it with blending solution and then play around with my colors. I've actually enjoyed playing and mixing them with the blending solution. It's quite like playing with watercolors, but then this is more vibrant. I also get some green like I did earlier for the leaves, and then I'm going to die cut it with this floral die by Paper Smoochers. This company has sadly retired, and I'm going to cut out once from the alcohol ink panel and the next time through a white paper, and have 2 cards ready from one alcohol ink panel. After I die cut my white and the colored flowers, now it's time to assemble them. I take a caramel colored cardstock for my white colored flowers and a white colored cardstock for the alcohol ink flowers, and I do the jigsaw puzzling of putting all the pieces together. And let me rush and then show you how it turned out. For the sentiment, I've taken a sentiment from MFD stamp set called Boss Babe, and this congratulations, I love the script. I stamped with black ink on my white card base, and I'm going to heat emboss the sentiment on the brown card base. Later I decided to add some embellishments, but here you can see that you can get 2 cards out of one alcohol ink panel. Here is another card that I made with another alcohol ink panel, but I used the silver paper to die cut my flowers outer lines, and also added die cut letters. You can die cut and use your stash differently with alcohol inks. It's like playtime doing this technique. I hope you like these cards and will make most of your alcohol ink panels incorporating die cutting. So after stamps, dies, why leave out stencils? Let's make a card with alcohol inks and stencils. I've taken this rose trio stencil by Simon Says Stamps, and you can use any shape. Because our theme is florals, I chose this. And I used the craft angles paper. First, I'm going to do some dry embossing of the stencil. If you are new to the dry embossing technique, you can watch my video that I'll link up here. After the dry embossing, I'm using blending solution and watermelon ink for my trio of roses. I just go ahead and play around, no technique, nothing, just playing with my alcohol inks. And I use brush if I left some place to fill in the ink. And now after I was happy with all the playing around, I add green for my leaves, and I love how the indented leaves give me texture on the panel. After I was happy with all the reds and the greens, I put my stencil back on the flower, and then with some blending solution on a baby wipe, I pat and wipe a little bit of alcohol ink away. It is like making the ink fade away. And now that my panel is ready, I'm going to cut out from the outer edge of the flowers and the leaves, so that I just have the flowers for my card. Do you remember the vellum piece that we had tried our alcohol inks on? I used that for cutting the shadow of my thanks die, and I cut my thanks from a white cardstock and adhere it on the vellum piece for my sentiment. I take a white cardstock and adhere my flowers on the white cardstock, letting the leaves go ahead of the edge, and then I take an old laced cardstock which is top folded and adhere my white panel with the flowers on it and my thanks in the center. So here's another way to stretch your supplies and use your stencils differently. I hope you like these cards and ideas. Do not forget to hop along for more creative ideas using the similar techniques or the mixed media that we have as an option. The description box is full of links and products. I would love if you check those. And thank you so much for stopping by, for subscribing, and happy crafting. Bye bye.